Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Arihant Bharat Connect Conference. The management of Trucap Finance will be joining us in few minutes. I would request everyone to please wait.
Hello, Aman.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you let Radhika Sheshdari from Trucap in?
Okay. Yeah.
She is from the management side,
Okay. Okay.
and she's not able to speak. Can you just?
Yeah. I'm just making her the co-host.
Yeah, yeah. Radhika, has Rohan sir joined? Okay. Yeah, you are. You can speak now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Radhika.
Okay.
Has Rohan sir joined?
I think he'll be joining in 5 minutes. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Sure.
Hi, even Rohan sir has also joined. Can you also make him the panelist? Hear you.
Yeah. I don't see him in the attendees list. Has he joined from another name?
Rohan Juneja.
No, I cannot see him in the attendees list.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Can you please send the link once again on the chat message or directly
Yeah.
to me?
Yeah, sure. Wait 1 second. I've shared the link on the chat box.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Participants, the management of Trucap Finance will be joining us in few minutes. I would request everyone to please wait. He has joined. Wait, I'll make him the ghost. Hello.
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Sir, should we start?
Yeah, we can start. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I didn't get the link, and now it's taken me about 9 or 10 minutes because I was not part of the panelist, etc. So I apologize for being late.
No, no worries, sir. No worries. Yeah. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Arihant Bharat Connect Conference. Today we have with us the management of Trucap Finance Ltd. From the management side, we have Mr. Rohan Juneja. He's the MD and CEO of the company. I'll just quickly go through the flow of the event. So the call will be of 1 hour. I would request Rohan sir to give a brief about the company, post which we can open the floor for Q&A. Any participants who wish to ask a question, I would request them to raise the hand or can put the question in the chat box. Yeah, so without wasting any time, I would request Rohan sir to please begin with the opening remarks.
Sure, thank you. I think Radhika will give a brief on the company, and then we can go into Q&A. I'm right here and I'm happy to answer any questions everyone has. Radhika will take over first, and then we'll go into Q&A. Thanks.
Sure, sir. Okay.
Yeah, hello everyone. 1 second. Yeah. So we at Trucap Loans, Trucap Finance are a pure play retail MSME lending company. We are rated CARE BBB and by CARE Ratings and IVR BBB plus by Infomerics. As of June 2024, we have an AUM of 1162 crores and customers of more than 1 lakh. This company was incorporated in 1994. Our promoter company, Wilson Holdings Private Limited, they acquired control over this company in June 2017. So we basically started operations from fiscal year 2017-18. This was about what we do and how we started the company. Now we'll go about how we do the business. We are basically doing business loans to the MSME segment of the country. Either we do it in the form of secured lending, that is lending against gold jewelry. And this is basically a branch-based lending model where the customer walks into the branch with his jewelry. We do the assessment of the jewelry based on its carat, its quality. We do the testing. We take the self-certification from the customer. We take the Udyog certification from the customer that they are doing business. We take the end-use certificate, and finally, we give the loan to him within 20 to 25 minutes. This provides a lot of flexibility to the customer that he's able to avail the loan in less than half an hour. And in addition to that, we also give him flexibility on no prepayment penalty. That is, the customer, for example, if it's a car loan, in many of the banks, the customer is charged a prepayment penalty of about 2 to 3% on the prepayment that he does. But in our case, we don't charge any prepayment penalty. The second flexibility that the customer gets is he's able to part release the loan. For example, say I have a loan and I have to attend a wedding and I need my earrings. So I go to the branch, I go and pay for the earrings that I want, the gold earrings that I want. I take back my gold earrings and I'm able to part release this, and the principal amount also gets reduced. That flexibility I have as a customer. And third point is this particular loan, ROI range is in between 15 to 22%, which is a 12 to 24-month loan. And basically, from the customer point of view, we are giving a lot of flexibility to them. Similarly, for us, it's beneficial because it's a secured lending product. The other product that we have is an unsecured lending product where we underwrite the customer based on his business cash flows, which is available in the banking statement and the bureau. So purely we do banking and bureau-based analysis. So if the customer is a very well-established business and he doesn't have it reflected in his banking statement, then we don't give him that loan. We don't do assessed income like how the microfinance institutions do. We do pure cash flows that are reflected in his banking statement. The tenure of these loans are up to from 36 months to up to 60 months. The ticket size ranges from 5 lakhs to up to 50 lakhs. The ROI ranges from 18% to 22%. We focus majorly on the essential goods segment in the business loan, where the customer is from a kirana store or a retail garment shop or a hardware store or an electric hardware shop, etc. The split of the AUM among business loans and gold loans today is 35% and 65%. Being in an MSME lending business, how do we differentiate ourselves from other peers? Is this way. One, we do secured lending against gold loan, which is a safe risk for us. And the NPAs in this business are negligible. It's about 12 basis points in the June quarter. Second, we have also explored a space called co-lending. Now, what is co-lending? Is, for example, a customer requires a 100 rupee loan with large financial institutions like HDFC, DCB, example, etc. And they provide 80 rupees as a loan, and they are the majority shareholder of the capital, and we are the minority shareholder. We provide the balance 20 rupees. How does this benefit the partner? Is because he does not have any no cost of sourcing, no acquisition cost, no cost of marketing, no operations cost. We are the front end facing for the customer, where we source the loans, we service the loans, and we collect on those loans. So, and how we benefit from this co-lending vertical is basically we earn on the IRR. For example, the loan is 100 rupee loan and 20% interest rate. We earn 20% on the 20 rupees part of the lending that we have done. And on the 80 rupees part, we earn a share that is decided between us and the partner. For example, say it's 10%. So we earn 10% on that 80 rupees, but we have lent only 20 rupees. So in effect, we are earning about 35 to 40% IRR. So that today we have partnered with Central Bank of India, DCB Bank, HDFC Bank in the gold loans, in the loans that are given to MSMEs against gold jewelry. And within the business loans, we have lent to Ugro. We have partnered with Ugro and Sigby. To keep this co-lending business strong and to execute it successfully, we need to have a strong policy and process in place. And when we partner with these large institutions, there is a 10 to 12-month intensive due diligence that they do as well on us, so that we come into an agreement into common policy and common processes. In addition to that, we also need to have a strong distribution network. As of today, we have 128 branches spread across 7 states. That is Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Delhi NCR, Goa, and Punjab. 85% of our branches are located in the tier 2, 3, 4 segments of the states. As of FY24, we made a top line of 182 crores and a bottom line of 11 crores. In 1Q, we made a top line of 52 crores and a bottom line of 1.4 crores. Our net interest margins are in the range of 6.7%, and we expect this to stabilize in the ongoing quarters. And on an overall basis, our gross NPAs are 1.4%. That's it from my side. I now hand over the call back to the host. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. We can now begin with the Q&A session. I would request participants who have a question, please raise the hand or could put the question in the chat box. Yeah, participants who wish to ask a question, I would request them to please raise the hand or can put the questions in the chat box. Yeah, we'll take the first question from Mr. Siddharth Shah.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. Just two questions. One, is your co-lending for specific products or is it for all the products you provide? And two, I know you all mentioned you all do like lending as a service versus co-lending. I don't know if that's just nomenclature or not, but can you explain how your economics of co-lending might differ from some of the other players in the market, please?
Rohan sir, you are on mute.
Yeah.
Thanks, Siddharth, for the question. So I'll answer your second question first. LAS is just nomenclature for co-lending plus BC because we do both of them. So we do co-lending, which is in an 80-20 or a 90-20 with banks or with NBFCs. And we also do BC, which is a 100-0. So our co-lending partners in the gold loan product are DCB Bank, HDFC Bank, and Central Bank of India. And the co-lending partners in the business loan product are HDFC Bank, Ugro Capital, and Ratna Fin, and we serve as a BC partner in the business loan product for SIDB. So all of these are part of what we call lending as a service because essentially it's a service that we are providing to these financial services companies. That's number one. Number two is on your question on co-lending and the economics and how they work is we are when we do an 80-20 or a 90-10, where we are the minority capital provider and there's a majority capital provider, which is, take for example, Central Bank of India. There's a hurdle rate that we provide them. What we charge to the customer is above the hurdle rate. So whatever we charge to the customer minus the hurdle rate on their 80% is what we keep for doing the sourcing, servicing, and collection on the business. And on our 20%, we get the entire yield that we charge to the customer.
Sure, thanks. And I guess, there are a few different co-lenders in this space. Is it you guys are just focused on specific end markets like geographies and products, or is there something different in your co-lending model as well?
So I'm sorry, Mr. Rohan, he just had to take an important call. So basically, we are in geographies perspectives, we are focusing more on the west and north of India. That would be the 7 states that I mentioned. And basically, we are focusing more on the tier
Hello?
2, tier 3 segments.
Ma'am, actually your voice is echoing.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. We are focusing on the tier 2, tier 3 segments, and we are spread across the 7 states that we had mentioned. That would be in the west and north of the country, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab, Delhi, and Goa. So that's how we do our co-lending business. I'm sorry, did I get your question right?
Yeah, no, that's it. That was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Participants, I would request anyone who has a question, I would request them to please raise the hand or can put the question in the chat box. Yeah, participants who wish to ask a question, I would request you guys to please raise your hand or can put the question in the chat box.
Radhika, we have 2 questions in chat box.
Yeah. So we have a question on the chat box from Mr. Naman Daga. What is the revenue and PAT guidance for FY25 and FY26? And in terms of what percentage growth can be achieved on sustainable basis?
So we won't give any revenue or PAT guidance for 25 or 26. I think, that is something when we give out, we'll give out to the public at large. There's no guidance there. And in terms of business prospects, I think, you should continue to follow us and see what we've done in the past. I think we will certainly not be growing at about 100% like we've done in the last few years. The base is getting slightly larger. And with, all RBI guidelines, etc., I think it's safe to say that the growth rate is not going to be at 100% that we've done in the last few years.
Okay. Participants who wish to ask a question, I would request them to please raise the hand. Okay, and put the question in the chat box. So there is a question from the chat box or from Vaibhav S. What is the progress on remaining portion of warrant subscription of 82 crores? And if you could give some guidance on that.
The remaining portion of the warrants, which were 88 crores in total, there were two tranches. One was 48 crores, the other one was 40. For both of them, we received 25% of the money. So 22 crores is in the company. The balance 66 crores, they have an 18-month window to put the money in. So the first tranche, they have until September of 2025. And for the next tranche, they have until December of 2025 to put the money in, which is 66 crores.
Yeah. Participants, yeah. So we will take the next question from Mr. Hemant Agarwal.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I just had a doubt regarding the green finance loans that you've been giving out, or does that fall under the secured or the unsecured business?
So green finance is insecure.
It comes under secured, is it? What will be the average ticket size for green finance?
1.6 lakhs.
1.6, okay. And average ticket size for gold loan and business loan?
Gold loans is 1.2 lakhs. For business loans, the average ticket size is the ones that we're doing through our own DST network is close to about 8 lakhs.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll take the next question from Mr. Vaibhav S.
Good morning, sir. I have just one question. Are there any further plans of raising equity, maybe by either promoter or non-promoters at large?
Yes, I think, raising equity is debt and equity both is a constant exercise in our business. I think, for our growth prospects going forward, we will be looking at raising equity. The reason being that we are at about 3x leverage, 3.2x leverage right now, which is still very comfortable. But the sustainable leverage that we want to run is anywhere between 2.5 to 4x. So for that and for our growth plans, we will be looking to raise equity. Correct.
And sir, any tentative amount for that particular
No, I
equity
think
portion?
I cannot give any comments or cannot give any guidance on that. I think you will hear about that in due course.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants who wish to ask a question, please raise the hand or can put the question in the chat box. Mr. Siddharth, do you have any further questions?
Sure, maybe if I can just ask one, if you have time, is just,
Yeah.
I guess, how does, there are multiple co-lenders in the market. What would be the key differentiator for y'all versus them? Is it, I guess, this physical network in place, or is there some data that y'all use, or, the products that y'all are serving? That would just be helpful.
So, it all depends on the partner that you've tied up with and what product they want to focus on. So one is product for sure. Within the product, the policy and the process that has been set up. So that also has to match with the partner. And that's the reason, these large lenders then tie up with the smaller entities who do the sourcing, servicing, collection. The differentiator would be the kind of customer that you serve along with the product. So I think for a lot of lenders that we have tied up with, the access to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 customers that we cater towards, that is probably the enticing factor. And I think then most importantly is not just about what we do, but how we do the business with those customers. So the ability for you to retain those customers, the ability to service more customers in that particular product is the key differentiator. Truth be told, it's very easy to say, but very hard to do, which is customer service. So that matters a lot as well.
Sure. Thanks.
So we'll take the next question from Mr. Arihant Vijan.
Hello.
Yes, sir, please go ahead. You are audible.
So my question is regarding the promoter holding. As we can see, the promoter holding is getting reduced and reduced. So any comments on that?
So we cannot comment on promoter holding. I'm happy to answer any questions on the business side, but promoter holding, that is not appropriate for me to comment on.
So can we see any increase or anything? Can you comment on anything regarding that?
So I cannot comment on promoter holdings.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Sir, Mr. Hemant Agarwal just wants to confirm what is the ticket size for Green Finance?
1.6 lakhs.
Okay. Yeah. Participants who wish to ask a question, I would request please raise the hand or can put the question in the chat box. Yeah, Mr. Webb. Okay. Mr. Weber, do you have any further questions?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, just wanted to confirm this green finance is EV finance?
Yeah, it's three-wheeler electric vehicle, e-rickshaw.
Okay, e-rickshaw. And sir, how much book we are targeting for this particular segment in a couple of years?
No, so I can't give you any guidance on what we are targeting. I think the guidance that we give will be collaborative in nature when we do give it, not just for this product, but overall for the business. But it's a pilot that we have run from the month of January of this year. And so far, the pilot has worked fairly successfully.
Okay, and this pilot is running in the state of Maharashtra?
No, it's in the Delhi NCR and the ancillary states around it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Hemant, do you have any further questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a couple of small questions, more like clarifications. Could you just mention what are the NPAs or the gross NPAs for Green Finance Gold business and the business loan?
So Green Finance NPAs, it's too early right now. The book is only about 8 months old. So far, there are no NPAs in the Green Finance book. In gold loans, the gross NPAs are about 12 basis points, 0.12%. And in the business loan product, your gross NPAs are 3.5%.
3.5. Okay. And so you mentioned that the company will not be growing more than 100% like it has been growing, which is understandable as the base is getting bigger. But can we just know net like how much can we expect? What type of growth can we expect in the coming years?
So truth be told, it's not appropriate for me to give guidance even for this year or next year when I've said. You can look at the track record of what we've done in the last 2 years. And, since 2020, from the book was 36.7 crores in 2020. In 2024, we've ended with a book of 1,033 crores. The base has become bigger. I cannot give you any guidance because there are 2 or 3 things at play. One, obviously, is the fact that the business is evolving. And as the base gets bigger, obviously, your percentage of growth starts
Definitely.
to look smaller. So you should look at it that way. And I think you should follow us from quarter on quarter to see the kind of progress we're making. We'll also do it in a calibrated manner, just given the fact that, capital has become more scarce as well in the industry. That's the reality. So you want to be mindful about all these things in terms of setting a growth rate for the future.
Right. Okay. Also, do we have any plans of expansion towards other states, let's say probably the south or the east, as we're focusing more on north and west right now? Is that a plan?
Sorry, can you please repeat your question?
My question was, are we planning to expand to other regions in India, let's say south or the east?
So no, we are not planning to expand to other regions. We will be predominantly in the north and west.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, participants who wish to ask a question, please raise your hand or can put the questions in the chat box.
Maybe just one for me. I think you mentioned this capital has been scarce, and specifically, on this co-lending model, do the partners kind of allocate, say, X amount of crores that we would like to disperse with you if you have the customers? Or is it the other way where you first get a customer and then they look to see, if he fits the whitelist, we will then allocate capital?
Yeah, so it depends. So in case of DCB Bank, we do have a term with the DCB Bank where they've said that we have 500 crores allocated for this particular purpose. Similarly, in case of Central Bank of India, we have a term which says we have about 1,000 crores allocated. But it's not the same with all the banks for us.
Okay, so for like a private bank partnerships, there's no kind of like allocation per se. It's like on a case by case basis.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Participants who wish to ask a question, I would request, please raise your hand or can put the question in the chat box. So I don't think there are any further questions. So should we conclude with the call?
Sure, we can conclude.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining in, and thank you Rohan sir and Radhika ma'am for joining in the conference and giving such valuable insights about the company.
Aman, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
There is one question in the chat box from Vaibhav. He wants
Okay.
to ask one question.
Yeah. Weber, please go ahead. Weber, you can unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Sir, just wanted to check, like, what is the scope of this margin expansion in case of interest rate cut?
Yeah, hi. This is Radhika here. So in case of interest rate cut, we surely would have an expansion in our margins, but then we also have to see to it that our ratings also need to be because based on the ratings we get our cost of borrowing depends on our ratings. So then we expect a expansion if there is an interest rate cut.
So it would be equal or it would be less than, say, the amount of rate cut?
So it won't be less than the rate cut, but somewhere equal. We will, on a blended basis, we might get a expansion there.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah. As there are no further questions, now I would like to conclude the session. Thank you, Rohan sir and Radhika ma'am, for joining in the session and giving such valuable insights about the company. Any other participants who have any other further questions, I would request to take the questions to the Arihant team and we can direct them through to the management. We can conclude now.
All right. Thank you so much for being patient enough for our because of some delays, and thank you everyone for being on the call.